Hi guys, FrostFangs here and welcome back once again, of course, to another Paladins video. We're going to be doing some IO today, doing something a little bit different and a little bit special. I have technically done this before, but it was quite a while ago. We're going to be doing Flying IO, or I guess a little bit more accurately, Anti-Gravity IO. It has been changed quite a bit since I did cover it, I think a year or two ago whenever IO was introduced. She also got a new skin as well, but I did cover this on the BTS, so it's not really going to be a focus of this video. We're just going to be messing around, trying to have some fun and kind of falling with style, because you're not really flying. You do have a bit of control, but you are slowly kind of descending. You can't go back up once you've launched yourself, really. If you've seen my original video on this, I'm sure you know what you're in for. It's a bit of a weird playstyle. It's definitely not one you'd go for if you ever want to do well. It's kind of just a meme setup or a setup to have fun with, but it is actually probably one of the weirder ones we have in the game. When IO was first released, for whatever reason, they gave her 2 anti-gravity cards. She only has one now, which is the one that's when you fire your bow, but she also used to have one on her Moonlight, if I remember correctly. I can't remember which card it was, but one of them used to also give you anti-gravity on your heal, even though your heal with IO is pretty inconsistent, which means it was the worst card anyway, so it doesn't really matter that it's gone. But all of that to say that Skywalker is the main card of the setup. It gives us anti-gravity and extra air control when we're firing our bow and also in between shots. Obviously, it doesn't give you it when you're reloading, but I would say that it is a pretty solid card. The rest of the setup doesn't really play into it at all, other than one singular card, and I guess this one technically does as well, but it's kind of more of a filler than anything else. Very similar to a bunch of other cards that other characters have in the game, where it resets our movement ability when we drop below 45%. It does have a pretty short internal timer, which is quite nice. It's only on 15 seconds, but the one big downside to this is the main way you're getting up in the air and kind of using your anti-gravity is by using your F, and it doesn't go on cooldown until you hit the ground. You're basically flying around, the timer's not going down, it's just blinking, and then when you land, it finally starts counting down. I think the 10 or 12 seconds, that's actually how long the ability takes to gen, but the way that it works currently is you either have to get knocked by something, like if a Cassie knocks you back, or you can fall off of like a platform, or you can launch yourself with your F, which is kind of the main way that you're going to be doing it. The rest of the setup is just to make it somewhat viable, so you can actually still heal whilst you're flying around. We've got Sanctum of Faith and Moonwalk just for a bit of extra Moonlight, and then a tiny bit of ammo gen on the leap. I haven't put the cooldown reduction card in there, and I haven't put the shield card in there, which again, you may think is kind of weird, but the reason I actually haven't thrown these in is because I'm not expecting them to be too strong. That shield is only 100 a level, which isn't that crazy with IO, and then the cooldown reduction I'm hoping that we don't really need because we have Crescent, and then this way we can also heal for a little bit more. I will try this. I haven't played this in forever, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty. If it absolutely sucks and I really need the cooldown reduction, we'll switch out some of the cards and we'll put the cooldown reduction in there. Right, well, for game 1, we've got TDM Abyss, we've got an Andro, Strix, and Maeve, and a Koga, so we are the solo healer here, which is probably going to let my team down a little bit. For their side, we're up against another IO, an Ashe, a BK, a Ceres, and a Hi-Rez. They have double support, tank, and then double damage. We have pretty much a full damage flank team, and we're also kind of playing like a damage. Obviously, if you're going to try hard, Goddess's Blessing or Lifelink might be a better choice, but for the sake of the video, we'll go for Sacrifice, and then we'll go for the setup. There goes Koga, some shots for the Ceres. We'll go ahead and launch ourselves backwards, just to show you, I guess, a really decent demonstration of it, actually, that you really do kind of fly. There's a heal for the Strix. I guess I got my thing reset because I dropped below 45%. The whole reason we have the card in there is because I'm hoping to not need the cooldown reduction. Guess I'm launching myself back here because Ashe went for the ult. I dodged with my F, and now I'm in a position where I feel like I'm probably going to get bodied. They don't have a sniper, so maybe I'll be fine. They do have a Tyra. The entire team is kind of looking at me right now. I do have my F up again. They've stopped firing at me, although I'm eventually dead to the Ceres cube. Okay, I mean, I guess we distracted them for a bit. It was a waste of a play. Get some shots here on the Ceres. Playing with this anti-gravity is really weird. I honestly haven't done it in forever. He's back up to full. We can pop the F and kind of glide around here. Didn't really want to go back here, but I guess that's kind of my only option because I was going to go off into the abyss. Should we push up on BK? He's kind of low. We can launch ourselves in and I guess finish him off. Oh my god, the anti-gravity is so weird, although so are the servers right now. Andrew, I'm trying to get a heal to you, my guy. There we go. Luna is to the left of me, but I don't really care. Deals barely any damage. Obviously, when you clicked on this video, you should have been able to tell what you were in for, but I've literally just launched myself off of the map because even with apparently 90% extra air control, you really don't have very much control at all, which is a very big downside to the setup, because I reckon if you could actually control where you wanted to go with this, it would be so much better. But basically, whichever direction you get launched in is kind of the direction you're going to continue to go. Like if I F myself over this way, I really can't stop myself. This is me holding right the entire time, and then also just trying to get back on. Just been launched off by the Ashe. I am dead. But basically, yeah, whichever direction you go in, you're going to just keep floating until you eventually hit something solid or you run out of ammo. Genuinely feel like the description on the card could be wrong. There is a double ult. She's going for hers to counter it, which is a bit of a waste. She is nearly gone. She got some good heals. There's my F. That didn't really put me where I wanted to go, but whatever. I'm dead again. We did technically kill BK with the ult, so I guess it wasn't a complete waste. I reckon this might be the hardest I've lost a TDM in a little while. That is Ceres going for the ult. We're going to F ourselves backwards and try and glide back onto land. It is really hard to control this, but I reckon we made it. Actually wasn't a terrible play, I suppose. There's some more shots for her. That is BK going for an ult. I'm kind of gliding around. The Ashe is there with the knockback. I'm going to see if I can make it all the way around. I think we might be fine. Oh my god, no, I'm off the map. Luckily nobody hit me, so I guess we didn't get a death for the team. I mean, at least it looks kind of funny, me just gliding around with IO, just firing down onto people. People aren't even really paying too much attention to me there. I think I killed myself more than I actually died to the enemy team, but I could be wrong. There is the defeat, of course. I think as a team we did struggle quite heavily there. As for the stats, we actually didn't do too bad, even though I felt like I was playing terribly. I guess my stat actually wasn't too bad if you compare it to everybody else's in that game. It was actually not terrible. The Andrew struggled quite a bit. Koga did, I guess, fine. He has the highest damage on our side, but he definitely didn't do all that well. Maeve struggled quite a bit, so did the Strix. Super rough match overall. As for their side, their Ceres did pretty good. Their Tyro did alright. Their IO did alright. Their Ash shredded there. I'm pretty sure I played with him before. And then their BK didn't do all that good. It was a bit of a weighted game, but maybe if I was playing somebody normal, it would have been a little bit different. Real quick before we jump into another game, I don't really understand the way this card is worded, because it doesn't feel like it's giving me any increased air control, and if it is, I don't know why 90% increased air control doesn't feel like any air control. I guess the only way that I can make sense of it is the card isn't working and it isn't buffing air control, it's just worded badly, or it is buffing it, and since it's already so low, a 90% increase is barely doing anything, because IO obviously usually isn't flying around, so maybe she has like 0.2 air control, so you buff it by 90%, it's like nearly 0.4, something like that. I don't know, because as you saw there in game 1, the lower gravity is definitely happening. You can tell that you can just fly around forever, but the air control doesn't really exist. You're just going to go forever until you run out of ammo or you hit a wall, pretty much. Obviously, I'm not really expecting it to be a meta choice. I don't really think flying IO is ever going to be a thing you see all the time, but it would be nice if this card didn't kind of screw you over a lot of the time. I feel like it should have increased air control so you can at least maneuver a little bit. Not like tons. I don't want you to be able to fly around like Drogoz and have tons of control, but, you know, maybe be able to actually stop my momentum somehow, or just do anything other than continue until I decide I'm going to die, I guess. Kind of hard to explain because it's one of those things that you feel probably more than you're able to see when you watch a video, but it just feels way floatier than I think it needs to. But it is kind of useful still for an escape. That's really the only situation where this is actually not terrible, is when you're using your F to get away, and then the extra anti-gravity kind of helps you go further away from whoever's hitting you. But anyway, for game 2, we've got Snowfall Junction, we've got a Ying, an Eevee, a Victor, and a Ceres. We're up against a Buck, a Torvald, a Maeve, a Corvus, and an IO. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who was on Ash last match. Pretty sure Personal 2 on their side is also partied with him because they were in the last match on the same team. We'll go ahead and grab Sacrifice and the setup, because why not? We'll go for Cauterize. Threw our Luna down so we can actually trigger our Sacrifice. Ended up kind of gliding over here, I guess. I outputted an actual decent amount of damage. I feel like I did land a bunch of those shots. Like if I just jump here, I can move around quite well. But when I use my F, it seems like the faster I'm going, like the less control I have. Like I really can't do very much once I'm using my F to move myself. Somehow managed to reposition my Luna just there. We took a bunch of health off the IO. I missed that second shot. She'd actually be dead. Never mind, I think we can still kill her anyway. There we go, just kind of flying over the team and blasting the Corvus and stuff. I guess we can get a reload in. Luna going in for the stun. We can pop the F. I don't know where the Buck even was. Got rid of the Maeve. Actually landed a bunch of those shots. It's also kind of hard to actually land your stuff because it's not hit scan, it's actually projectile, so obviously that makes it a little bit more difficult when you're kind of moving quickly. Throw our Luna down, get some more shots on the Buck. I guess my damage output isn't terrible considering I'm meant to be a support. See if we can finish off the Corvus. There we go, 3 shots in a row. Nice, get some hits on the Torvald. I feel like I'm actually outputting decent damage in this match. I think it's because we've got a Ying for heals, so I'm just consistently like throwing my left click out. Buck's going for the ult, heal the Victor. Never mind, gonna F myself away from him. See, as an escape, it's actually not terrible. Did that silence just reset my F? It did. I just got to use it twice. That is my Sacrifice. Okay, we'll go ahead and cast the ult, throw that over there. I guess we got Torvald off, so it wasn't a complete waste. That's 2 people I've thrown off with my ultimate in this video, and 2 TDMs. Push up on the IO. She's got her Sacrifice trigger. There is the F. I guess that's my Sacrifice trigger. Can't actually save my ass there for the second time. That's Torvald going for the ult. I guess I can fire for a little bit. Oh my god, where the hell is it going? That's the corner of the map. I'm pretty sure I just hit like a hard, solid box. That's the silence from Torvald. There's my Luna going in for the stun. We can reposition ourselves over here, get some shots on the Corvus. My accuracy is absolute trash. I would have actually finished him off there if I landed them. There goes the Buck. Shots into the Torvald. Hello, Buck. There's my F to kind of, I guess, help me get away. That is the Luna Sacrifice triggering. There's my F again. Okay, I don't really want to go this far. Nearly set myself off the map. Ceres went for an ult. There's a heal onto her. Sure, the Eevee also ulted. Let's shoot into this Buck. I'm only dealing 300 because of the damage reduction. More heals onto her. She is back up to full. Torvald jumped me a little bit there, so we'll just launch ourselves away. I feel like so much of this freaking video is just going to be me flying, kind of just trying to hit the enemy team, kind of succeeding a little bit. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing too bad in this one, to be honest. I feel like my damage output's actually been pretty good. Buck's going for the ult and the jump. We were able to escape pretty cleanly, although I wasn't able to finish off the Corvus. Hello, IO. For some reason, all your jukes threw me off there. Okay, that is the Sacrifice trigger. I guess we're back up to full health. Honestly, this taunt's actually been kind of decent. That is Ceres going for the ult. There goes the Buck. Seems like they're all spawning still just here. I do have the ult up, so I'm hoping maybe one of them jumps me so we can throw them off, see if we can get the Buck. Nope, that didn't work at all. And also, my ultimate thing is showing up as an enemy one. That's weird. There is the F just to get out of the way. Sure, land on the ground to get it on cooldown. Pop it again. What the hell am I doing? Not really sure how, but we managed to recover a decent amount of the score. 28 to 35. We were behind massively, but we're actually not too far off. That is Corvus going for the ult. Torvald is ulting as well. Okay, pop the F, kind of glide around here. There goes the Corvus. Hello, Buck. There's some shots into him. I'm going to heal up my Luna, so my Sacrifice still works. Heals for the Ceres as well. She's actually just about still alive. Get some shots on the Torvald. Heals for the Eevee. Okay, never mind, she's still gone. There is the F. I've made that play so many times. Like, the bucket jumps in, and for some reason, I'm just out with my F. But anyway, there we go. There are the stats for game 2. We'll go through them top to bottom. Ying did alright. Victor did alright. Eevee did okay. And so did the Ceres. Shoutouts to Beefear. I'm not really sure how to say that name. That was the Ceres. I don't know why he's apologizing. It was a fun match. We somehow ended up with top damage there, other than the Buck, who was very clearly trying a little bit harder than everybody else in game 1 and game 2. I'm pretty sure I played with him before, like I said, but we did pretty good there. Honestly, I'll take that stat. Considering the situation we were in and what we were going for, I can't complain. Then for their side, the Maeve did alright, the IO did alright, Corvus did fine, Buck definitely did a great job there, and then the Torvald did pretty good. He did shield for a ton. To be honest, I'm quite happy with how we did. I don't know how much of it I could put down to the setup. Sacrifice definitely saved me a ton. That's why we only have 3 deaths, which is pretty damn good, because I did throw my Luna out a lot more in that match than I did in the first one, because I just kept forgetting about it in the first game. Definitely wasn't healing for very much, so I don't think the healing cards in here were making too big of a difference. Obviously, the anti-gravity was kind of noticeable and was kind of nice, but the reset definitely was coming in clutch. Could do a game 3, but I reckon I'm going to leave it here. I feel like I showed it off fine. Game 1 was a bit janky. Game 2 was a little bit better, but I don't really know what else I could really possibly say or add to this video that I haven't already gone through, so I'm going to cut it a little bit short. At the end of the day, this isn't too much of a serious setup. It is pretty much just a meme setup, or a meme card, really, because it is really just this, the thing that's kind of enabling the entire thing. The reset's just kind of adding on to it. But if you're grabbing this expecting to do well, you're grabbing it for the wrong reasons, I think, pretty obviously, as you were able to see there. Same kind of thing with damage IO. It's not necessarily terrible in itself, it's just the fact that it's not really the way she's intended to be played. I feel like damage IO really hasn't been thought out all that much. Kind of the same thing with anti-gravity IO. You know, you could definitely still do them, you can do decent with them, but at the end of the day, she's very clearly meant to be a healer character, and that's where she works best. But thank you for watching. Like, if you enjoyed, by all means, let me know what you want to see me do next. Let me know also your thoughts on this skin. I know I already made a video on it, but I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about the skin alongside the playstyles and stuff. Of course, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys all very, very soon, and as always, stay frosty.